Hi, and welcome to Tech Venture. So, today, we're back with the Bose Frames Altos. Now, as you see, they're already on my face because I'm being blinded right now. But, sometimes you can use it for that reason. And just start listening. Now, before I get sued or anything like that or copyrighted, we're going to turn that off. But there are a couple things I do want to talk to you about these headphones. Or sunglasses, headphones, whichever one you want to call them. But I'm going to start with the bad things first. That way we can get those over with and then start with the good things and why I think these could be useful for you. But the first thing I do want to talk to you about is, so anything higher than like a quarter of the way, or maybe like, say like 36% of the way, if you're in a quiet environment or somewhat low sound environment, anyone around you will hear it. So at this point, it's like, it would be annoying to them because like with headphones, they wouldn't be able to hear it unless it's like really loud. But that is one thing that is annoying about it just being a speaker, not something, like headphones. But that doesn't really matter since they're kind of shooting down towards your ear. So that kind of negates it to being too loud to them. So they could just deal with it. But, that's just things. Now, if you are using it in your car, so let's say you're in your car driving and, sun's out, you have it in, there's really no point in playing music through them because obviously you have a better speaker all around you, which is the car. And I mean, if you don't have Bluetooth, that's okay. You have connecting anything above like a 1998 car, you will have either at least a USB to connect to or something like that. So that's also something you don't really wouldn't really use them in. Another thing is if you are in a super loud environment. So like, let's say you are, I guess you wouldn't need it in a concert, but if you were, say, in a Kroger or something, or Walmart, or something like that, like a grocery store, and there's really loud stuff going on, or construction, there we go, that's something really loud. It is going to be hard to hear it, unless it's at full blast, and even at full blast, it is low for what it is because they also tried not to have people hear it. So you probably won't hear it at that point when it's stuff that loud. But unless you're around that stuff all the time, I don't think it would really matter. Another thing is you can only use these when it's sunny. So like let's say winter comes and you have these, they're probably not going to be used for that whole time. Unless, I guess if the sun comes out and you are going out, you can, because sometimes the sun is out when it's snowy. But, I've really never really used sunglasses that often in the winter or anything like that. So you will be just using these kind of like during spring, maybe summer, maybe fall if you really want, if the sun, the sun does actually get pretty bright. So there you go. So just the winter time, I guess. But that's why this isn't really a bad thing. It's just something you can think about with these sunglasses. And then the speaker does lack bass. So if you do play something with bass, the whole frame will actually start vibrating. And you can mostly feel it here. Now, I don't know if you can see it right now, but there's a cable running into the frame there. If you see with the lights, there it is. I don't know if you can see that. So you probably can't see it because they try to hide it very well. But there is a cable going from this way to that way. I'm pretty sure either that's the battery or anything like that. But they can only do a certain amount to make it, bassy. And it's not there. So if you have it on, you're not going to really hear the bass. You will feel somewhat of it, the vibrations on the glasses, but that won't really matter, especially if you're listening to something with bass. Now, also the charger. This is the last thing about it. So as you can see, the charger there is magnetic and it has 4 prongs there. So if say you are, this does only have 2.5 hours of battery life, but if you do say run out of battery and you forgot this at home, unless you bought multiple of these somewhere else, you're not going to find a charger at all. You're not, it's kind of hard to find one like this exactly. So you will either have to carry this with you, and I guess that's what the carrying case is for, but it only kind of fits the glasses there. You could squeeze it somewhere. I guess that would be something you can do, but that's something that I found that was a little annoying. Now, to the good things, because there is actually a lot of good things in this, and one thing is, when you're actually taking it off. So you know how when you usually take off your sunglasses, you put them down like this? That actually just turned them off. So you don't have to worry about turning them off manually or anything like that. Or you don't have to disconnect them from the actual whatever you have it connected to, phone, computer, whatever. And then you also get this button right here, which this does power it on, as well as it does pause play. If you double click, skips, and then triple click, it will go back. So that was really handy. I did like that a lot. Another thing I did really like, so these are $200. Now you might think, oh, wow, that's actually pretty expensive. But if you think about it, Ray-Bans, Gucci sunglasses, all that, all those like branded ones that are actually like $200 or $300, maybe even more, don't come with a speaker. Now, do they? No, they do not. Nor can you take phone calls on them. You can take phone calls on this. And I heard I sound like normal when I called, and they said you sound like you were just on the phone. So that's something really cool. I did not expect sunglasses to make phone calls, but there you go. They also are not that heavy. So they're not heavier than normal sunglasses. Obviously, they're going to be a little bit heavier because of the speakers, but when you have them on your face or you're holding them, they don't really feel that different, as well as when you close them. Now, obviously, when you close them, you can see the thickness there, but that didn't really bother me, so that's not really a bad thing. But yeah, so when you close them, as you can see, they still look like regular sunglasses. They're not taking too much room. You also get the carrying case, so that's not too bad. And now another thing, this is kind of more of a gimmick. It's not really a good thing to it, but this gives you a reason to wear sunglasses indoors, so you can still look cool. But so like if you have them on, you can just walk inside and listen to your music. And if someone does decide to bother you, you can just turn up the volume to ignore them, and then they will know that you're playing music through them. So, you know, then this will be their sign to be like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to this guy. And then as well as the speakers aren't bad. So they're very clear. I know I said the bass isn't very well, but that's just because it's hard to put bass, or bass comes from like subwoofers, and you can't really do that in that tiny of a area. So the speakers are clear. You can hear the music very clearly. The voices are very good. And like I said, at the highest volume, if you're like in a normal spot, you can actually hear it and nobody else around you will. Unless it's very quiet, then anything above 25% is gonna be hearable by anybody around you. So my verdict: would I recommend these? If you like hiking a lot, yes, I would definitely recommend these, because obviously you would need this when you're outside hiking, because you will need to block the sun, as well as you can hear your surroundings and listen to your music. Also, if you like running a lot or walking, I would recommend these as well, because when you're running, you'll need something to block the sun, not your sun, but the sun. And then you also can listen to your music. You won't have to worry about your headphones falling out or anything like that. Now, if your daily commute is work, back home, and you're wearing the sunglasses in the car or at work, yeah, I wouldn't really recommend it for that case, because like I said, you'll be connecting to the car anyways, and there's no point in having them. And they're not as loud, like I said, with the windows down, so that's actually another loud environment there. If you have the windows all the way down and you're just driving, they're not going to be that loud either, so you might as well have them on the car. But yeah, that is my verdict. Thank you guys for watching, and you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this.